Hi guys, and welcome to some WRC 6 gameplay. So I haven't been on WRC 6 for a little while now, so I'm going to be very rusty. And I thought, why not kick things off with a complete rally, and just as an added twist, I thought, why not go through all the stages without actually repairing the car in between the stages. So by the end of it, I'm going to have probably a very damaged car, and you know, could make things a little bit interesting. So I'm driving on board the Volkswagen Polo WRC. The first stage here is a 100% tarmac stage, and of course Volkswagen are pulling out of the WRC sadly, so they won't be competing in this year's World Rally Championship, so that's a shame. But of course, the good news for Rally is, of course, we're going to be having much more powerful cars this time around, so you know, a lot more people will probably be watching as a result of that, and certainly a sport that I could probably get back into, you know, because of the extra powered cars are much more exciting to watch, for obvious reasons. So just over the 1 minute mark then, it's first stage then. And I do have my steering wheel at 180 degrees of rotation, which, as you can see, hitting the thing there, I found it very difficult to get around these very tight bends, so I do change the degrees of rotation for the next stage, but more on that later. So coming around this very tight turn, you know, pretty tricky stuff this. You know, when you haven't played a rally game for quite a while, as I go smashing there into the side of the barrier, whoops. So more and more damage on my car, you can see there, slightly cracked windscreen. And look at that, just avoiding the barrier again by millimetres. I think I actually did make contact there just for a brief moment, just scraped the side of it. Somehow we get away with it this time. Again, lots of tight turns. You know, that's the thing with these WRC titles, you know, they do throw lots of hairpins at you, lots of tight bends, where, you know, in the real world rally stages are much straighter, of course, and build up a lot more speed. But then again, you know, it is a computer game. It is supposed to be entertaining, and I guess that's why they tend to throw these really sort of bendy stages at you, I guess I'm trying to say. So about 2.5 minutes in then. Rally, first rally here won't take long. In fact, I'm coming up to the finishing stages now. So throwing a very tight turn at me here just before the finish line. So that was it. We come through relatively unscathed for the first stage, and then we're across the finish line. So next up then, a nighttime stage, once again 100% tarmac. So it should be, yeah, relatively easy on the tyres. Of course, I won't be changing the tyres, repairing the tyres, repairing any parts of the car throughout the duration here of the Monte Carlo rally. So, you know, you will see my car slowly deteriorate. So you come around this hairpin. Now I have lessened the degrees of rotation now to, I think it was 540 degrees of rotation from coming down from 1080. Now 1080 I found was not enough, and actually using 540 degrees I found it to be too twitchy. So again, I wasn't quite happy with the balance here, so I do change it up again for the next stage. You can see the car sort of diving left and right very quickly, and that's simply because I'm not used to the low degrees of rotation, and I just feel it's the turn-in is too sharp either way. You can see they're going from side to side very quickly. Lots of hairpin turns once more this stage. You know, it really does keep you on edge. You know, you've really got to employ that handbrake button, and you can see they're getting it wrong there. You know, often I'm sort of scrambling for the handbrake button on the wheel. I'm using the T300 RS Frostmaster base. I'm using the TX Leather Edition Racing Wheel rim, which I find nice and comfortable. So about 1.5 minutes in then, we've got quite a way to go, about a quarter, or just about a third of the way through actually. And again, you know, very little damage so far. So far so good. But I've got to say, these tricky hairpins do take some getting used to as I slam into the side of the stage. But you know, it's a good fun title, WRC 6. You know, you don't have to treat it, you shouldn't treat it as a sim. You know, you have to go in understanding that, as I get it all wrong here. Wow. So am I stuck? Can I reverse out? Oh, switch my lights off here. There we go, managed to get the reset done, and I'm scrambling around for the light button on the wheel, and I do find it quickly, much to my relief. But yeah, WRC 6 is very much a sort of bridge between arcade and realism, I guess. You know, you really do have to go in knowing that it's going to be, you know, not a simulation title, because they want to appeal to the mass market, of course. So you know, it's not out and out arcade. That would be unfair to say. But you know, somewhere in the middle, I guess. It does simulate a number of elements, but you know, it's made for fun, basically. It is a fun title, but you know, it may require you to sort of hone your wheel settings to find a balance that you find comfortable. For me, somewhere around the 720 degrees of rotation is about spot on for me personally. But of course, everyone differs. So we did have that moment there when we went into the side of the track. But you know, we do come out relatively okay, I guess. We do have a time penalty there, 2-second time penalty, so not a lot. And again, just getting a bit wrong through there. So just getting used to the controls, getting used to the handbrake, getting used to the game. I haven't been on here for a while, so I was always going to be rusty. So I thought, why not challenge myself further and just have no repairing in between the stages. It should make for an entertaining video, hopefully, and you know, a pretty knackered car by the end of it, no doubt. Now you can see the damage just popped up there for a brief moment. Just showing my tyres there again, going into the orange stage, so they are very worn by now. You know, this is the second stage. Typically, after the second stage, you will be repairing your car, so you'd have fresh tyres and you know, fix out all the different mechanical parts of the car for a refreshed car. But of course, I won't be doing that, so we'll be entering the third stage with a pretty worn car, especially the tyres, as we come around this left hairpin, then into a right hairpin as we approach the finish line for the second stage. So it is a nighttime stage, but it was pretty straightforward. You know, the hairpins did work quite challenging, but overall I think the cars got through relatively okay, and that was that. Oh, and somehow we managed to win the event. Well, I'm not quite sure how, but there you go, we did win the event by some 7 seconds, but we're going to move on to the next one now. Right, and so we're on to the third stage now, and this is a stage that consists of 70% tarmac and 30% snow. Now the tyres are pretty worn at this point. I've not been repairing the car in between the stages, so it's just a matter of trying to get through here as best as possible. So being very cautious through here, and very tight left-hander. Into a right hairpin. So again, very cautious. I just don't want to over damage the car, you know, needlessly, and you know, I'm going to try and keep these tyres in reasonably good nick. So tricky left-hander here that tightens into a hairpin. Very tough to get the hang of these turns. Having to go down to first gear through there. Again, another really tight turn there, first gear. Bit of handbrake as well, just to help me get the car around. So at this point, the tyres are going off. You'll see the car just losing grip ever more and more, and you know, the car does sort of slide wide into the turns as a result. And look at that, really having to get the speed down there. I almost felt I was going to fall over the cliff there. Get it coming around here. Nice little sunlight effects there, has to be said, through the trees, looking good. Again, a very tight turn, taking this very slowly down to the 20s and hitting the side there, but we're okay. A few more cracks on the windscreen appearing now. Bit of damage on the bonnet. Again, nice sunlight effects. Problem with the sun, of course, it does affect visibility when you're trying to be cautious. In the first place, you know, you do have to slow down even more. And again, look at that. You can see the damage there. You can see the tyres looking pretty worn at this point. So coming up to the 2-minute mark then. And again, look at that. So the car is losing grip more and more through every turn. As we go onto the icy surface now, it proves to be very, very tricky, very slidey, very slippery. So you've got to be even more cautious through here. So every time on the brakes down, very early on the brakes. Coming around this tight turns. There, look at that one. First gear through there. And again, slightly hitting the railings there, but we're okay. just a question of damage limitation. And getting a bit wrong there. So under braking on this slippery ice surface, the car, the tyres offer very little grip. So again, just braking very early again now. And very cautious through here. Now you can see the snow starting to build up on the windscreen as well, which just makes the visibility even more difficult to see. And again, look at that, straight into a tree. So at this point, on this particular surface, with these tyres that are worn, there's virtually zero grip. You can see there, no grip whatsoever. Really, really struggling now. Again, you can just see the car swarming around. No grip whatsoever from these tyres on this surface. And again, hitting the barrier there, having to reverse out of the situation there. Again, the car taking more and more damage. Again, making contact with the railing. So, very tough at this point. Even when I'm getting on the brakes early, it's simply not early enough. So having to readjust my braking points all the time just to keep the car from hitting the barriers. So a little bit more consistent now as I get used to the braking points and just a general lack of grip. So very cautious through there. Coming up to the last stage now of the stage, approaching the 4-minute mark, so just a matter of getting it to the finish. And we're going to be taking part in 2 more stages after this on the Monte Carlo rally, as I barely managed to keep it on the track there. Wow, that was close. But we're going to be coming round, probably about 30 seconds more to go. Again, very cautious through here. Very wary of keeping this on the track, because there are lots of bumps and ravines inside here and there, so I want to avoid any massive damages if I can. Now here, I just didn't know where I was going, didn't know where the track was leading me at this point, but we just about get through here, and we're going to be coming up to the end now, so we're going to leave it for that. For the first part, on the second part, we're going to take part in the remaining 2 stages in the Monte Carlo rally, but that was it for now. If you enjoyed the video, we'd appreciate a like, and of course hit the subscribe button if you want to keep up to date with all your favourite racing games. So see you in part 2.